This break is brought to you by Netflix. Head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV to sign up for your free 30-day trial and gain access to TV shows and movies that you guys can stream straight to your consoles, your computers, and even your mobile devices. It's an amazing service, and I highly recommend you guys go check it out. So netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. Now, could Blizzard finally be listening to us? Well, this may come as a shock to a lot of you StarCraft and World of Warcraft players, but it seems like Blizzard might finally be giving us access to some things that we've been asking for. With me to talk a little bit more about this is GameBreaker writer Callum Lawrence. Now, Cal, so they posted this dev update. What are some of the things that are making fans go crazy?
Well, all of the things that they've actually got listed in this dev update are things that they're working on to come with Heart of the Swarm, and they're all really amazing things. Like, we got multiplayer resume from replay. So basically, say if you disconnect out of a game, which is, I'm pretty sure anyone that's followed the StarCraft community / scene a little bit knows of the impending disconnect problem that we've always been having, and the fact that we've always wanted LAN.
Right, and it's
what we're going to get.
So is it, they're not giving us LAN specifically, but they're giving us kind of their own solution to LAN.
Yeah, because I've seen lots of developers in the past. I remember they said something that Battle.net itself doesn't work with LAN, and they don't want to go there because of legal issues they've had in the past. So what they're having is this resume from replay a multiplayer game. So basically, if you disconnect out, and I don't know how it's going to work because all I've got here is a couple of words saying multiplayer resume from replay, but I'm gathering that it's going to be you get into the replay again with the person that you were playing, and you basically just hit resume at the end mark. So it sounds as simple as that, but it's finally going to be a way for us actually to get into disconnected games rather than it just being completely lost. And in an esports scene, that is priceless, because if you ever get into one of those situations, like, I'll direct you to the GSTL for the fact that MVP versus Parting had basically won that game, but they had to go to a regame. If they had had this opportunity back then to say, okay, the game disconnected out, let's just restart it again, we could have avoided that whole entire issue with the GSTL finals, and none of that would have happened. And some of the other features that we've also got here is global play, clan/group system, unranked matchmaking, and multiplayer replay viewing.
So, you know, at first glance, a lot of this sounds really, really great. It's a large list of things that's always good to hear coming for development updates. But why do you think they're implementing these things? Besides the multiplayer resume play, what's the need? What's the call for these other things?
I think the main thing that, if you look at some of these things, is creating community involvement, because that's one of the things that StarCraft 2 is lacking at the moment. Unless you're actively part of scenes, like you actively go out and say, okay, I'm going to seek myself a team, I'm going to seek myself a practice partner, I'm going to seek myself, I go to a channel on the StarCraft 2 thing that's always active. This is something that's just going to increase, like, community involvement is one of the things I've seen, like the global play, the fact that you can play globally without any region restrictions. They say it's similar to the Diablo 3 thing, so it looks like you can be able to switch in and out from, say, Korean servers to the European servers. You could just say you have friends in the US and you haven't been able to play with them because you live in Korea, or you have friends in Southeast Asia and you haven't been able to play with them because you're in Europe. You can just swap out and it becomes a lot more social in that sense. The clan/group system, I don't know if this is going to be clan support or if it's just going to be some way for you to easily get into a clan or into a group, and because it's not obviously very specific, but it's also another, like, a community thing. The multiplayer replay viewing is something that everyone has been asking for the fact that we can all, like, queue up and watch a replay at the same time, because it's just something, as I said, a community involvement. You could all just sit down and, like, get 5 people and say, okay, I'm going to look at this latest build between Spanishiwa and MMA, and let's sit down, let's watch this, and 5 people, you could all have, like, Skype conversation, like, oh, I understand why he's done this here, this there. It's like, the thing that I see about this is community involvement. It's something that we've always wanted with the latest Battle.net, because it's always been lacking in the fact that you can't really communicate well with the rest of it. It feels like a very lonely game unless you actively seek out an audience, and this is all I see about it. It's just getting that more of a community and, like, engaging content more in StarCraft 2.
How about time frame? I mean, new features are always a great thing, but is this something that is teased that's a long way off, or can we hope to see these anytime soon?
Well, they say in this article that it's going to be planned to release at or around the launch of Heart of the Swarm, and they've said in the past that there aren't going to be any really major updates until Heart of the Swarm releases. So I don't expect for it to be coming until Heart of the Swarm has come, and then some of that could become even later on because they say at or around. So expect some of these things to come in, because if you think some of these may be a lot simpler than others, like global play, they've already implemented that for Diablo 3, so it's not like they have to start completely from scratch like something like multiplayer, the resume thing. So global play could be something easily coming with Heart of the Swarm, and plus for the fact that when Heart of the Swarm's coming, you're going to need global play because you're going to want to play with everyone with the new expansion. And expect half of these things, like some of the easy ones that they've done in previous games, to come with Heart of the Swarm, and the other ones I'd expect to come in some sort of a major patch afterwards. Just like in the League of Legends one, we've had the major spectator mode update. Just expect something like the multiplayer resume thing come in a major update patch after Heart of the Swarm, I'd say.
Right. All right, guys. Well, we can obviously expect it right around the time of Heart of the Swarm, so keep it tuned right here. We'll keep you updated as more information rolls in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.